Hey, good evening, everybody. This is John Totten, and I want to welcome you all to the inaugural Dogsmile Adventures season end celebration and auction. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us. This really means a lot. We're going to take our time here for a minute and let everybody join the stream. So sit tight for a second as we see everybody logging in. So tonight, we're going to do three things. Number one, I'm here to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to show you what we did with those donations. And the third thing we're going to do is we're going to ask you to help us do it again. So let's get into it. Our first section of videos focuses on two groups, young adults and veterans. So early on, as I was exploring this idea of therapeutic sailing, I got to thinking, like, well, who's not sailing? And the answer was, well, right away, it was young adults. I've been to a lot of yacht clubs in a lot of places, and the one thing I notice about the general membership is its advanced age. There's not a lot of young people there participating in sailing programs. And I've always wondered why, and I don't really know why. But I know that I want to do something about it. I want to try to engage young people because young people need our help. There are very few services aimed at young adults. And the suicide rates among young adults are increasing. In 2019, suicide became the second leading cause of death in people ages 15 to 24. I'm going to say that again. In 2019, suicide became the second leading cause of death in people between the ages of 15 and 24. I want to do something about it, so I took this down. The other group that's in this next video are the veterans. I don't think I need to go into too much detail about this. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that America's veterans are struggling. But I will give you one fact. The suicide rate among America's veterans is double that of the general population. 2 times. And that's really heavy. And it's hard to think about it. But one of the lessons I've learned on this journey is that even the smallest effort can really have a huge impact. Our world's full of big problems, and most of which are way out of my control. And if I sit and think about them, I get hopeless and I get depressed. And one day I just stopped. I thought to myself, I can sit at home and I can moan about the state of the world, or I can get the game. I can do something. Because every way to change that's ever happened started with one person doing something. So I got into it. I launched the Dogsmile Adventures race teams, and so these groups made so much happen. The local college and the crew, hang in there, not lost. I love you. So each of these racing teams race once a week all summer long. And once a week, a handful of college kids, some local veterans, and one newly sober, salty guy felt a little bit better. Before I start the video, just got to do a little bit of housekeeping. So this is a virtual presentation for One Cause and YouTube, and just like everything else I did this year, this is a total experiment. So I really appreciate you guys' patience and your support. And if you want to make your support for Dogsmile extra official, you need to be supporting one of these babies, the official Dogsmile rig. We have the full adult size. We also have the child size, or the, what I like to call, lower volume, higher octane brained adult size. Either way, we've got those hats. Those are for sale on the page. And don't forget about the auction. We're going to go into that in detail really soon in the program. But those bids are happening. That auction is live, and it's going to end at 8 p.m. sharp. So don't be afraid to jump in on that. And lastly, make sure the volume's up on your device. And if the video doesn't start, you might have to push play. All right. Enjoy the show, guys. Thanks for being here.
My name is Brad Jackson. I'm originally from Northwest Kansas. I was in the military for 9 years. I was in the United States Navy. When we first started racing, I really knew nothing about sailing, but it was just basically a learning experience from the beginning. Every Thursday we'd race and I'd learn something new every time, and eventually got to the Spud Cup and we did really well. The team dynamic is definitely the number one thing about it. Just having people that are interested in the same thing and as motivated as you are, and being able to compete with them is a pretty amazing thing. Sailing with Dogsmile Adventures would be good for anybody, especially veterans that are dealing with any kind of issues that stem from their military service. Just being out on the water is just therapeutic in itself, and most veterans are pretty competitive. So being able to get on the water and race and be competitive, it's definitely helped me out. I think it's a new found passion for me. I definitely am going to be looking forward to every season coming out here and sailing as much as possible and getting on the boat.
Without knowing what Idaho had to offer, I moved out here in May of 2019 and I never looked back. All of the things I do now, I've never done in my entire life. I grew up in not the best childhood, and not the best area, so I found myself being the most at peace outside. Even growing up, it would be at a forest preserve. It was just enough for me to get out there and just be able to just be quiet and hear nothing. I think it's huge to be able to sit in your silence and not be uncomfortable with it. I was able to get out on one of the sailing racing evenings, and it was refreshing, and it was very hands-off from you. I feel like it was more of us being able to kind of learn and figure out while having your assistants there. You kind of just let us do it. The competition wasn't the end goal for you. It was to help us learn, which I thought was huge.
What types of people do you think could benefit from sailing with Dogsmile?
Everyone. I think sailing is one of those things that anybody can do, and I think it's huge that you're offering that. The atmosphere and the environment you have created is just a very welcoming, full-hearted, open, accepting place, and it's a safe place. And I think that anybody who is slightly considering it, just do it.
Awesome.
Yeah, just kind of get uncomfortable and get out there. If you didn't grow up doing these outdoor activities and it kind of scares you, that's the biggest thing that you should be doing, is getting out there and getting uncomfortable, because that's where you're going to find yourself. And that's really about it. That's what I've done my entire life, and moved 1,700 miles away to do it. And I'm building my life out here.
I don't know how to sail. I'm scared to death of water most of the time, but they got me out here and I tried it out. It just did a lot for me. Instead of stressing me out like a lot of things do, I've been known as a ball of stress, especially within college setting. This is like where I can come out and break away from it and feel relaxed. Just feel the boat move and the wind push it along and stuff. It's really calming for me. The relaxation that it's given me, like the stress-free environment that it provides for myself, like I just want to share that with others. Something else that like I really think it'd be helpful for people is just getting outdoors more, and like for those who aren't necessarily able to walk up and down trails or go kayaking, like this is a good opportunity. You can come, you can hang out on the boat, not move very much, and still participate in the activity of sailing the boat. Best part is just kind of finding out a new sport, I guess you could say, that I'm interested in. Has it changed my life? Yes. It's something that I really continue to want to do, and I've even talked to John a little bit about like, hey, you know, how do you get in with other groups, and like what possibilities are there, other places in the world to go sailing. For me, from being from a little landlocked state of Idaho in the middle of the farm fields, And then being able to come out on this, it's like, holy cow, there's a whole new world that I've never even dreamed of. And finding that and pursuing that is something that I want to do as a hobby moving forward.
I'm Cyan Froney. I'm 23. I'm a student here at NIC in the Outdoor Rec Leadership Program. I did take a sailing class this summer and really enjoyed it.
How'd you find Dogsmile? How did that happen? And what was your experience with my program this summer?
Yeah, Terry mentioned it a little bit in the sailing class, and then Joe was actually the one that was like, you should totally try it. And I was like, oh, I don't have any experience. I don't know. He's like, no, like just go out and try it. And it was probably the best way I could have spent a good amount of my summer. I would get so excited to go out on Wednesdays. Going into it, I thought it was going to be a lot more overwhelming than it was, but it was really just like going out there on Wednesday nights, having fun with the crew and getting to know it.
It always landed on a day that was like extremely stressful for me. And so I'd be like, okay, I gotta leave all of that on the dock and I need to get on this boat and like be focused and like not fall off. And it was just so like cathartic for me to be able to focus on something other than the chaos of my life over the summer. I got to try cabin top and foredeck. When you were on vacation or something, I got to drive, which is pretty exciting.
When you think about therapeutic recreation, what comes to mind?
Yeah, I mean, when I just think of recreation, like that is my therapy. It's like being outside, away from all the distractions of like everyday life.
My mind gets a break when I'm able to do the outdoor recreation activities, especially sailing. I think with sailing specifically, I learned a lot about how racing and the boat's mechanisms are to our own lives. Like several times when we were out racing and you're like, okay, move like a little bit further forward and like, oh, we need to leave this on the dock and like all this stuff, like getting weight out of the boat and shifting weight around is like, I was like, dang, this is like so personal to my own mind, because it's like, what am I focusing on and what weight am I putting into things that I don't need to put that much attention on? And so I think the more time I spent out on the boat and the more time I spend in the outdoors, the more I'm able to be aware of the areas of my life where I'm giving too much attention and too much heed, and I can rearrange that and cut those out and throw them overboard, or really focus on them.
Awesome. That's really thoughtful. So moving beyond this summer, do you think that your experience with Dogsmile is going to influence your future sailing? Do you think that that's going to matter? Do you think it made a difference?
It really just gave me a lot of confidence to just go out and try something new and work with a new team. So that was really big for me. And I mean, I'd love to do it again next summer if you're ever looking for crew.
And hopefully the skills that you gained, right, would give you, no matter where your life takes you, the confidence to, as I've been telling people for years, people ask me all the time, like, how do you get into sailing? And the answer is simple: you walk down the dock. Mm-hmm. And it sounds cliche and it sounds like, but it's the truth. And what I'm hoping is that by giving you guys some skills, you have that confidence to walk down the dock and say, hey, do you need a crew? Do you need help? And you can say that with confidence, knowing that you know your way around the boat and feeling like you can be useful, because it's intimidating to walk down the dock otherwise, right? And so I'm hoping that that's what I can impart on you guys, is to give you that confidence that wherever you end up, if you see an opportunity for sailing, that you're like, well, I'm up for it, and go insert yourself, because most of the time, the people down there on the dock are gonna be like, yes, like, What about you, Joe? Where do you see sailing going from here?
Oh man, well, I've already looked at, I'm looking at a few different schools to move on to, and I've already looked to see what sailing they have around them.
Awesome.
I definitely feel like at this point I could walk down the dock you know, like I feel confident enough and say like, hey, I have sailing experience. You know, I can pull out some big words. Got 4-deck experience. Got some cabin. I can trim the main. Like maybe.
I mean, I have various friends who have been through like these wilderness therapy sorts of programs, and I think this is like almost just the next step for that. You know, getting into something where you're putting your mind to use, you're putting kind of your troubles away for a minute and just being able to focus on something that's really beneficial to the mind. Yeah, I think almost anyone could benefit from it, to be honest.
A lot of times when you're starting to do something new, there's very little trust put in you, like, or confidence, you know. I never felt at any moment like people weren't confident that I could do it. Even if I was like, I don't know if I'm confident that I can do it, but just having the crew and the captain being like, yep, you're gonna do this, and you're gonna rock it, you're gonna do fantastic. That was like such a bolstering experience, and we did kill it.
Yeah.
I for sure remember just trying to get into the dock and being like,
Yeah.
are you sure? Yeah, we're getting like closer and closer to the dock, and I was just like so questioning myself. But yeah, I mean, you just put all the confidence in me, and like as soon as you were like, yeah, you got it, I was like, okay, we're doing it. Yeah.
And you drove it right in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everything was
Plenty
fine.
of room. Yeah.
Hopefully you can all hear us. Had a little technical difficulty. You know how it goes these days, virtual living, right? So anyways, shout out to all of you that are hanging in there with us. We appreciate you sticking with us, and we appreciate your support. We are more energized and invigorated than ever to get people out there on boats experiencing the healing effect that sailing can provide. Aren't those testimonials incredibly powerful? I often have a hard time putting into words what we are doing. And when I hear people talk about it who have had a profound impact from our program, it's so meaningful and special. I know every time that I am out in nature, in the outdoors, it leaves me with a feeling of greater peace. And that's what I love about what we're doing with Dogsmile Adventures. Immersing people in an experience that they may not get to have otherwise due to financial or other barriers. I was actually able to join a family member this summer who deals with chronic health issues due to multiple sclerosis. And it left me feeling inspired and empowered to want to spread the word about this program more than ever. John always says, boats just make people feel better, and boy, is he right. Just witnessing her experience that and the subsequent effects that it had on her was so emotional, and proof that this is working. Putting people on boats out in nature is giving them peace of mind, is giving them relief from the stresses and anguish they may experience due to unforeseen circumstances out of their control. When reflecting on the experience afterwards, my family member told me that she was just able to feel present for the first time in a long time and feel the wind in her hair and just be. Her worries disappeared. What a wonderful gift to share with people that can benefit from that. Speaking of being on the water, tonight you have the opportunity to bid on a few bucket list caliber auction items. I'm not sure if you've read through them yet, but there are some incredible prizes up for bid. There is a float house on Lake Ponderay with a Dogsmile boat ride with our very own Captain John Totten. And if you have ever had the privilege of seeing the boathouses in Bayview, it is like right out of a storybook. It's an incredible experience. And what better day would that be to get picked up on your dock in front of your float house on Dogsmile. And then we have the legendary Sizzler, a luxury yacht on Lake Coeur d'Alene that is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And, of course, we have our week-long trip through the San Juan Islands, a charter cruise. And just remember, there's room for friends and family on each of these experiences and adventures. So who is ready to be the star of Christmas this year, right? Wouldn't this be a nice present wrapped up under the tree? So we'd love to see you get those bids up. I see there's a little friendly competition going on. Love seeing everyone in the chat. Hey, everybody. And don't forget, the bidding closes at 8 p.m. sharp. So that's only an hour and a half you've got left. So get your friends together, get a group together, think about who you'd want on those boats with you, and let's get those bids started. Those stories from these experiences and adventures will last you a lifetime for sure. Thanks for hanging with us.
Enjoy the charms of Bayview, Idaho, with a 2-night stay in an iconic floating home paired with a private sail. This beautifully restored float house is the perfect escape, and it gets even better when Captain John Totten stops in to pick up you and your guests on the Dogsmile, a fast and fun J105 sailboat for a romp across gorgeous Lake Pend Oreille. Generously sponsored by Mary Sanderson, this package is available for up to 6 guests all summer long by prior reservation, excluding the holiday weekends of Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day. This enjoyable Bayview stay and sail makes an ideal romantic getaway, a friend's trip for up to 6 guests, or a family summer adventure. Here's your chance for your own Bayview floating cabin and boat ride. Dogsmile Adventures invites you to set sail on the legendary 60-foot Sizzler for an unforgettable evening on Lake Coeur d'Alene. Sponsored by Hagedorn Hospitality, this package for up to 8 lucky people includes sailing in the summer sunshine, a waterfront dinner, and sensational night sailing under the moon and stars. Your captain and hostess will host you in style on a date of your choice in July or August, where you can relax or take the helm, with plenty of photos to remember this epic adventure. Sizzler is a private yacht, and this is a rare experience to get aboard for a first-class family outing, special occasion celebration, or business event. Whatever the occasion, a sail on Sizzler will be a night to remember. Take a week-long sailing trip through the incredible San Juan Islands with Captain John Totten as your guide. This package for up to 4 guests takes in all the best parts of this world-renowned cruising destination, rich with wildlife, scenery, ports of call, and wild places. Your boat, Vita Beata, is a beautiful 44-foot island packet sailboat with all the creature comforts. Captain John Totten has sailed these waters for years and knows how to deliver the very best experience in a place sailors consistently rave about. The San Juan Island sailing trip is sponsored by Mike Gridley and Carla Cicero, San Juan Sailing and LTD Sailing. It's available in May or September, excluding Memorial and Labor Day weekends. With this trip, you can support therapeutic sailing while you bring an incredible bucket list item to life.
Hi there. Thank you so very much for joining us this evening. My name is David Kilmer, and I'm a captain and a board member with Dogsmile Adventures. Our first season and our first celebration. It's wonderful to see everybody here online with us and to know the support that Dogsmile has from people the world over in our mission of therapeutic sailing for those who need it most. I have to say I did bring along a couple of pirate jokes for this occasion. So are you ready? What are a pirate's least favorite vegetables? Leeks. What's a pirate's favorite exercise? The plank. And why don't pirates take a shower before they walk the plank? Because they'll just wash up on shore later. I've got to tell you, I have an enormous personal debt to water and boats. Sailing has absolutely changed my life. I know many of you know like. And I'm sure, like me, you've wished that you could share that feeling with the world. But we're also aware that there are massive barriers to most people ever setting foot on a sailboat. Many dream, and few actually set sail. But now, because of Dogsmile, those things are truly possible. one boat ride, one life at a time, and you will see those stories tonight. Audrey Hepburn once said, "As you grow older, you will discover that you have two hands, one for helping yourself and the other for helping others." So tonight, I'm asking you to join our crew, to give us a hand and help us share the joy of sailing. Our live auction is open and those packages look pretty great. But I also have to tell you, the real power of Dogsmile is in your individual contributions. So in this season of holiday giving, I'm asking you to gift the profound experience of sailing to someone who needs it most. Whatever you can contribute will be put to very good use. As Betty Reese said, if you think you are too small to be effective, you have never tried to sleep with a mosquito in the room. So let's all give whatever we can tonight. I am very impressed with the visionary and kind-hearted mission of Dogsmile, but also with its lean, mean approach to nonprofit work. Hemingway said the shortest answer is doing the thing. And at Dogsmile Adventures, we don't just stand around talking about it. We go out and do the thing every single day. And we can't do it without you. So please donate now so we can meet and beat our goal for this evening together. One of the great highlights of this summer was our youth sailing camp on Lake Coeur d'Alene, led by Captain John Totten, who offered a free kids camp through Dogsmile partnership with Coeur d'Alene Youth Sailing. Kids on boats is a cause that's near and dear to me and my family and our own precious kiddos. I got to tell you, John's approach to making young people feel good about getting out on the water is like nothing I've ever witnessed. To look up and see all those kids running down the beach, so eager to go sailing, makes my heart happy every single time. So please savor this recap of our youth sailing adventures by hitting play on this next video.
Okay, so you plug this end, goes into the winch. Grab hold of it. Yep. And then you turn it like a coffee. Turn it like that. See the sail coming out? The jib up there? Yep, keep pulling. There it goes. Yep. Nice. Take it over the lip and into the teeth. Over the lip and into the teeth, just like that, and then you don't have to hold it. If I'm pulling it in, see how it can wrap around my arm? Thumbs up, right? And towards you. And that's how I handle the line, like that. You see how I'll never get hung up in it. When the white mark is up here, that means the rudder is straight, okay? Hey Pierce, we need some main trim, buddy. It out. Letting it out. Keep going. And pull it in. Good job. Yep, keep going. There we go. Nice, that's good right there. Okay, over the lip and around into the teeth. You got it, buddy. Jib, do you see the yarn hanging? The red yarn? The red and green yarn? So those are the telltales on the jib, right? And so what the big wheel allows me to do, guys, is I can sit way out here and I can see those telltales.
Well, we had a youth sailing program, Coeur d'Alene Youth Sailing, and John put together this awesome program for 2 weeks, 2 one-week camps. And he pulled together all of these kids for a sailing adventure camp. And we had probably 24 kids that I think went through the program, somewhere around 24 kids. And all of them just had a great time learning, and it rejuvenated our organization. It brought enthusiasm, creativity, and he just taught us how to help teach the kids in ways that we hadn't thought of before. And so it really brought our organization to the next level.
Pierce, I was so nervous and hesitant to even get on a sailboat at the beginning of the summer. And then to watch him get more comfortable and go farther out and with more people. And then with Bella having zero experience. And then seeing her drive her boat and do so well in the confidence that they had from that success was pretty cool.
I think you spark the kids' sense of adventure when you sail out to Kidd Island, sail around Kidd Island and then sail over to Tubbs Hill and beach it and then swim in the cracks of the rocks and climb up some of the rocks and then sail back to the beach. And there's this adventure and this excitement and this journey that they go on.
At the end of the sailing, you learned about so much and the feeling of accomplishment. I just love all those feelings. My favorite part about sailing is the main sheet.
Oh, cool. Dan, what do
I
you?
love how it makes me feel so calm.
I love the part about sailing that it can take you places, right? Like you could sail a boat anywhere, and that the skills that you learn in the camp are the same skills that'll take you across an ocean. Like it's really the same stuff. Do you want to go sailing again? Do you want to keep doing it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Hey, I'm back. If you know me, you know I can get a little emotional from time to time, and watching these videos along with you tonight is hitting me right where it counts. I love seeing kids on the boat and know that those adventures they have with Dogsmile will be ones that they won't soon forget. We like to start them young here, right? It's so fun to see some familiar faces on the chat. We even have someone tuning in from 30,000 feet in the sky. Hi, RJ. Thanks so much for spending your airline Wi-Fi on us. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Anybody else on the chat, don't be shy, reach out, say hi. What's inspiring you to join us tonight and support our important cause? Our 3 amazing sailing adventures are still live in the auction, but again, tonight we'd love to see you support us on any level that you're able to. Truly, anything helps. The donation tab is on the right side of your screen if you feel inspired to give this evening. We'd so appreciate it. We are a small but scrappy but experienced team with big dreams, and the more contributions we get tonight, the more people we are able to share time on the boat with this next season. So thanks so much. One thing that I have noticed while sailing on Dogsmile is the sense of camaraderie that there is when you are aboard the boat. The Dogsmile is such a special environment for collaboration and community to happen. You might see someone getting on the boat for the first time, walking down the dock, feeling a little bit timid and intimidated. I know I've been there. And by the end of their adventure that day, they are wanting to learn about pulling lines in and tying knots, and you might even see them behind the captain's wheel. And inspiring that type of confidence in someone can be life-changing. So please, we appreciate anything that you can give this evening. We were lucky enough to be able to partner with people already doing incredible work in our community, and we'd love to share some of their stories with you next. They are a diverse group from a variety of causes. We thought that they would benefit from our form of outdoor therapy, and boy did they. I want to say thank you to Tim, who joined us with his daughters from Special Needs Recreation, Tucker from Echo Springs, Amanda from Integrative Approach, and Anya from HRC Ministries. Each of these groups showed up with their bravest dog smiles, and we were honored to share this experience with them. Let's hear about their experiences firsthand. Thank you so much.
My name is Tim Neary. I am the father of Megan and Michaela and Emma Neary. My full-time job is caregiver for my oldest daughter, Megan. We sailed with John, I think, in June for the first time. It's been a phenomenal experience. Dogsmile it's been amazing. He was absolutely right about the benefits of therapeutic sailing. When you're moving on the water and sailing, there's no noise other than just the wind itself. That is incredibly freeing, and I know that Megan really loves that, and that gives her a source of huge comfort. So I would say that sailing is actually a very positive sensory experience for people who have sensory issues. John has been incredible with our girls. He's a very calm and calming individual. He has a knack for working with people with special needs. This whole experience and this whole thing being out here with John means a lot to my wife as well, because she can tell when we come home how excited they are. It's just been such a huge positive thing for our whole family. Megan is absolutely thrilled when she hears that we get to sail again. She'll jump up and down and clap. Michaela's been fascinated with the vernacular that John has taught us about all the words that we know that come from sailing. So every time we use one of those phrases, they're like, that comes from sailing, that comes from sailing. They're already talking about next year, bringing some friends out. It's gonna be something we absolutely look forward to. And it's gonna be a great day when we get back out on the lake next spring. I would say for anybody who's struggling with children with sensory issues, this is a phenomenal experience for them. This will do incredible good in the lives of very specific people. It will begin to heal some very specific wounds in some people who really need some healing. So I would highly recommend you consider supporting Dogsmile.
My name's Tucker Sweeney. I live in Sandpoint, Idaho. Echo Springs that I work for is a young adult transition program. We have campuses in Bonners Ferry and Coeur d'Alene, and students, you know, they come to restart and to gain a different path in their life. I brought 4 students down to go sailing from our program, get the students out on the boat and, away from electronics and devices, and just come out and have a wonderful day out on the lake. Wind was a little bit light today, but last time we had a bunch of wind, and each day just kind of brings something else to learn from, and there's something always going on. It's not just a scenic cruise, it's actually some education. The partnership with John and Dogsmile has really opened a huge opportunity for me in my line of work. I would tell others to definitely just give Dogsmile a go. I don't think you'd be disappointed at all. John's super easy to be with, and your day is pretty much catered to whatever the needs of the group need to be. And it's just gorgeous out here, and it's no bad days.
My name's Amanda Thomas, and I have a company called Integrative Approach. I'm a marriage and family therapist and clinical concierge. And we serve families throughout the country trying to really assess clinical need and be creative in terms of meeting those clinical needs. And then also I do my own immersive work here in Sandpoint, Idaho, and was fortunate enough to do an immersion with a father and daughter here on Dogsmile. Sometimes, especially when we're young adults, we kind of get stuck in that grind of like, who am I supposed to be? Who am I in the world separate from my family? And whether it's a career or a college path or sports or whatever it might be, sometimes we get locked in. And that was, I think, something that you provided. Listen to John's story and the Dogsmile story and how you can really live a life that's very fulfilling and joyful and satisfying, that doesn't kind of match that grindy, this is what my parents did, so this is what I have to do. You have an openness with them and an acceptance of who they are, where they are in the world, what they're capable of, with no judgment. Dogsmile has a lot of potential, and I mean, I would love to see, couples coming out and being able to, do some of their own relational repair work, and then putting them on the boat and being like, okay, let's see how this experience goes, and who, some of the stories that you've shared about having couples like on your
so many
on your boat, and just like teaching them and trying to help them figure out how they're going to navigate their boat, like it's pretty powerful, like, because very quickly their negative patterns will either show up or they'll be able to practice new patterns. So I can see that being really fun. I can see a family doing, hey, let's work on some family stuff, and then let's go out on the boat in the afternoon and let you guys go play together and see if they can find a little playfulness back in their relationship, because they've probably gone through a lot of crappy stuff together and maybe haven't found moments of joy in a long time. So recovering joy, but then also giving them an opportunity to try new patterns as well.
Yeah.
So I think if anybody's kind of going out into the world and wondering, can Dogsmile work with me and my population or a client of mine, what I would say is you just need to call John and have a conversation, because I think that he can assess and keep you guys safe and inspire and help your clients feel better no matter where they end up. You're really grounded in this environment, and that creates a sense of safety, of a surrogate sense of security for people who wouldn't naturally feel that way here.
And it's fun.
Heck yeah.
I love it. I've cast as wide a net as I possibly can, and just kind of letting people come to me, and I just want to take people sailing and hopefully help them feel better. That's it.
My name is Anya Koma, and I am the Hrc Anti-Trafficking Program Director, and we are currently in our Spokane Valley offices.
I understand that the anti-trafficking program within HRC is new, correct?
Yeah, we've been fundraising for over 4 years, and planning for this program to launch our long-term restoration program for survivors of sex trafficking. And we were able to do that the first part of 2021.
We had residents out sailing 2 times this summer. Can you share a little bit about that experience and maybe a little bit about what feedback or what impact you think it may have had on the residents?
Yeah, they thoroughly enjoyed their time. We had one of the residents that was quite nervous about getting on a boat, and you could see it all over her face when she was walking on the dock and approaching this boat. She was just like, I don't know about this. And so it took, I think, a little bit of finesse and patience on our part to just kind of, to have her feel confident on stepping up there and getting her up and onto the boat. And I think what was amazing, I was talking and reviewing with one of my staff today, was just to watch her relax as we set sail and we got out on the lake, and to just kind of see that moment where she was like,
right.
And just, we even have a picture up of her sitting on the back of the boat in our learning center.
Awesome.
And so it was really neat to just see her completely relax, and our other resident to see her just start to open up. And we sat out there on the bow of the boat, and she laid down and was in the sunshine and, wind in your hair, and she just began talking. And that was really, really neat to just see that experience for her, because she's very quiet and very reserved and doesn't open up and talk a lot. And that really encouraged her to just, again, relax in her own way, but where it just allowed her to open up to the staff, which was really neat.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I connect with my mission of therapeutic sailing, when you hear those words, what comes to your mind when you hear therapeutic sailing?
For me as a licensed mental health counselor, I just think of the importance of self-care, the importance of learning to connect with your environment and connect with nature. And through those things, you begin to connect with your body, that you can calm down. And I think that's what people that are coming out of trauma, they don't do easily. They don't relax, they don't calm down, they don't breathe, they don't step out of that hypervigilant state. And I think when they get to go sailing and they experience that, it gives them the opportunity to feel that you can't get that in a therapy room.
Right. Yeah. That healing that the water and the waves and the boat that it provides is always something that I've struggled to articulate.
Yeah.
But yet it's, like you just described, it's so observable when it happens. It's like, there it is.
Yeah, because it's an experience.
Right. And it was such a pleasure to watch the residents and the staff, actually, both times, people, you can just, and it's something that has been a driver for me this whole time, is I've observed this when I was working in other capacities on boats, but it was always a byproduct. It was always like, oh look, they really look like they feel better, but we were going on vacation, or we were teaching lessons. And the big change with this has been intention, and saying, now we're gonna get people out on boats with a therapeutic intention and really make it the point of what we're doing. And I think the collaboration with your program was definitely one of the most obvious successes of my season.
Yeah.
Because it was like, this is like you mentioned, this is a population of people that have extreme trauma and are in need of therapy of all kinds. And that this type of therapeutic recreation can be incredibly beneficial for them.
Yeah.
It was just so phenomenal to watch, especially the second time, because then I got to see them again and was like, oh, and we had a little bit of a relationship, and so there was a hello, and and they seemed significantly more comfortable coming back.
Yeah.
And it was like, there it is.
Yep.
Like, they're clearly calmer than they were last time, and Heidi mentioned that they were looking forward to it.
Yeah, they were talking about it actually, and we have a new resident, and they were telling her about their experience sailing yesterday.
Awesome.
So, and it's been, a month or 2 months since they've been out there, and they were still talking about it and telling her about how amazing it was. So it's left an impact, because we do a lot of different things with them, and so for them to bring that up and be like, this is what we got to do and it was really cool. And I also think, I don't want to skim over that when we were there, your transparency with your story, I think really encourages transparency in them as well.
Yeah.
And just that, I think that really brought something to the experience as well.
Yeah. It's so healthy to just be in this open and honest environment.
Yeah.
And to foster that inclusiveness is the big piece for me. It's like, everyone's had trauma of some type, and everyone's been through all different experiences. And so when we can and there's something about that boat in that place that just brings it out of people.
Yeah.
I've had folks come on and where I didn't really know what they were dealing with, and by the end of the sail, they're telling me all about what they've been through, and they can just feel this release happening. And there's something about that boat and the place that just makes it safe to share. And it's it's just one of the benefits, one of the many benefits of being out there.
I'm excited to, get our newer residents that haven't had the experience and get them out there next year.
Wow, that is powerful stuff, my friends. It's so inspiring to see these very personal stories of therapeutic sailing at its very best. It's also incredible to see the responses and donations coming in, the live chat. So keep chatting us up, keep the donations going. And somebody needs to get Sizzler up to an even 10 grand. And I promise you, if you do, there will be a very special reward for that. So I've got that in my back pocket, but I need one of you guys out there right now to get Sizzler up to 10 grand for us. Bid those other great prizes up as well. But please donate whatever you can. And I promise you that donation will give you a great reward. You're going to feel that twice. You're going to feel an immediate happiness as you give. And then the next time you're out on the ocean, on the lake, you can look out and you can see a beautiful sailboat going by. And you can think to yourself, hey, I might have launched that sailboat. That might be somebody's very first boat ride. I heard something from the legendary mountaineer Reinhold Messner that I wanted to share with you. People know Reinhold is one of the greatest climbers of all time. But what they don't know about him is that when he was climbing in the Himalayas, he lost his younger brother, separated from him in an avalanche. And his younger brother was only 24 years old, died that day on the mountain. And Reinhold had to live with that for the rest of his life. He continued to blame himself all his life for his brother's death. But somehow Reinhold survived, and he continued to climb, and he continued to thrive and excel in the mountains. And he went on to make some incredible summits. It's just some epic records that he set throughout the rest of his career. But Reinhold said something very interesting about climbing and about life that I think applies to all of us in our journey of our voyage of life, if you will. He said, most of us forget that from the beginning of our life, we are approaching death. And in that way, life is absurd. But you can fill it with ideas, with enthusiasm. You can fill your life with joy. Tonight, I would remind you that many are hurting. And in fact, we are all hurting in some way, but there's an antidote for that pain. And that antidote is to care for each other. The antidote that we have in life is to create joy. As we get closer to the end of the program tonight, if you're still on the fence about giving, I would encourage you to take action. Do something now that will not only fill your own life with joy, but will create joy for another human being. I want to call Captain John Totten over here to sit next to me for a minute. John? Hey, buddy. I'll tell you something about this guy. Over the last year, I've watched John give it everything he's got to make Dogsmile happen. And we've taken some long ocean passages together, and John used to tell me about his dream of giving away sailing to those who needed it most. And I got to tell you, at the time, it seemed a lot like a pipe dream to me. John's making it happen. And today, thanks to all of you, that dream is a reality. And if you've ever watched this guy teach, I can tell you it's a thing of beauty. If you've ever watched him lead, I can assure you that you feel inspired to your very core.
Thanks, Dave.
John is a warrior of kindness. He's a teacher in the very truest sense of the word. John was made for this. This is John's purpose on the planet. It's his gift to the world. And you are all making it come true tonight. Because at the end of the day, it's people who make this work. It's you, wherever you are, watching tonight, joining us, giving whatever you can. It's all the people who've sailed with us already, and it's the thousands and thousands of people more to come. People lending each other a hand is what makes a community great. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for making Dogsmile a success. Please enjoy our final video of the evening, and then watch for John to come back live one more time at the end. My name is David Kilmer. I'm a board member of Dogsmile Adventures, as well as a captain. And today we're on beautiful Lake Coeur d'Alene on my tugboat. Being a board member at Dogsmile Adventures has opened my eyes to all the ways in which we can help people around us every day. It's been a great pleasure to participate on many levels, from the youth camp all the way to some fairly serious racing. And we did that racing with veterans. And the experience of watching veterans overcome, adapt, and rise to the challenge in a supportive environment is an amazing experience. Everybody is fighting a great battle that you can't see and most of us know nothing about. But therapeutic sailing gives people a chance to get out on a boat, away from their regular everyday life, and see that battle in a new light. Therapeutic sailing means that people have to let go of their fears. They have to let go of that death grip on the dock, and they have to point the boat in a new direction. And in that letting go is a real freedom. The leadership of Dogsmile has been unparalleled. I've long admired what Captain John Totten can do in a teaching environment, and of late I've begun to see how contagious his brand of kindness is. So this summer I watched Dogsmile Adventures serve an incredible number of people, an amazing amount of boat rides, and as exciting as that is, I think that's only scratching the surface. There are so many more people that need a boat ride, that deserve a boat ride. And people are hurting. And I know this is exactly what they need. And I know that Dogsmile Adventures' mission has only begun. Sailing means so much to me. And to see kids do this for the first time, and do it with a big smile on their face, a big dog smile on their face, you might say, is an incredible feeling. It's a wonderful feeling to look back at the past year of Dogsmile Adventures and think of all the great times we've had on the water together, and think of all the lives we've touched, and to see all the hard work that everyone's put into this, all the contributions that have come in, pay off in such a rewarding way. And when we talk to people about where we're at with the program, they're blown away. And that is a giant thank you
to every single person who has contributed in some way to Dogsmile Adventures. When I think of Dogsmile Adventures, I think of the quote that says, "If there is any kindness that I can show to a fellow creature, let me show it now, for I may not pass this way again." And I think that's at the heart of what we're doing. Dogsmile Adventures has accomplished so much in its short time, and there is so much more to be done. But in order to do that, in order to grow this program and expand and help all the people that really need our help, we need your help. We need you to contribute your time, talents, and resources to Dogsmile Adventures in any way you can. And with your help, there's no limit to what this program can do. Sail with Dogsmile Adventures and see what kindness, water, and a little wind can do.
My name's Terry Brinton. I'm the assistant coordinator for outdoor pursuits here at North Idaho College in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. We're here on the North Idaho College campus in our beautiful beach where we teach sailing and rent the sailboat fleet behind us here. So I learned how to sail at summer camp as a little kid. I started when I was about 7 years old, and my experiences sailing are one of the most formative experiences of my youth. I don't think that I experienced that sense of freedom that I got when I was in command of my own boat at that age out on the open water doing anything else. And I went on to teach sailing a bit at that same summer camp. I really enjoyed providing that experience and helping more kids feel that same sense of freedom that I felt. And now I've come full circle, and I'm doing the same thing for college students and community members here with North Idaho College and with Dogsmile Adventures. The benefits that I feel while sailing are the combination of being in touch with nature and being really in tune with the great forces of the world, and the peace of mind that that gives you, because it is an all-encompassing activity. You cannot think about anything else when you're out there if you're that engaged. And the feeling that I always get when I step off the boat back onto the dock when I'm done is a sense of peace. And the things that were preoccupying my brain before are not a problem anymore. They're still there, but they're not the same stress that they were beforehand. And it's happens every time I step off the boat without fail. Doesn't matter if we were sitting around bobbing around, no wind out there, or fully gripped in white caps. It makes no difference. It's that sense of grappling with the great forces of nature and trying to be in balance with them, and the great reward of that sense of freedom that you get when you do it. Having been fortunate enough to sail on Dogsmile quite a bit this year in various capacities, I can't be thankful enough for those opportunities. I think my position in the Dogsmile organization is awesome, because I can on one day be the skipper on the boat with my proteges, and then on another day be a crew member on the boat with my mentors, and to be learning so much in both of those capacities has been great. I've felt like my sailing and my career in that aspect of my career has moved forward a huge leap this year, and it's been a great honor to be able to provide this venue to help host the Dogsmile Youth Adventure Camp here at North Idaho College Beach. We have a pretty good setup for it here with the way the wind works and our beach. It's very conducive for that type of program. I look forward to one day meeting one of those kids down the road as an adult and hear them reminisce about that. I know that I will have that conversation with one of these students at some point, and it'll be a great experience for sure. And I really do think that everybody can benefit from being on the water. Being connected with a body of water in that way is a innately human experience, and it taps into some deep drive that we have to be near water. If you look at around the globe, where do people settle? It's next to water. It's not just because we need it to drink, it's because people like to be near the water, and it has a palpable soothing effect. Dogsmile raises money a number of ways, and all of those ways are absolutely necessary to keep the program moving. So, there's charters and lessons that help support the program, and those will continue, I am sure, and that program will continue to grow. But in conjunction with that, we really need donations. And there's a million different organizations out there vying for charitable funds these days. But I think that picking an organization that you connect with is going to be the most meaningful for you as a donator. Whether you've been sailing or whether you've just thought about it, or whether you've looked at it and said, oh man, that's cool, how can we help support that? This is how you support it. So last thing I'd like to say about this organization that has been my pleasure to be a part of is the deliberate effort to make every experience, whether it's with the Dogsmile professionals just going out for racing for their own fun, or taking people out for tours or lessons, or doing charitable programs, the deliberate effort to keep a positive vibe and attitude on the boat, not just about the experience, but just as humans relating to each other. It's a contagious thing, and every single time I've been on the boat or involved with any Dogsmile program, whether it's putting the boat together or working on things or teaching or racing or whatever, every single time there has been a palpable, contagious, positive vibe. My face hurts from smiling after a weekend out doing these programs. And it takes a little bit of intentional effort to get the ball rolling on that, but once it gets going, it's contagious, and it's led to a deeper connection with the people that I've been on the boat with on a number of levels, and I'm exceedingly thankful for that. And I'm really doing my best to try and bring that into the rest of my life and the other things that I do outside of Dogsmile Adventures. And it's I think one of the biggest thing about the program. It's what the Dogsmile means. It's that you're so happy and so elated that you can't hold back the smile and your face hurts. So yeah, I really appreciate that. Now, when I see somebody else that I've been a part of this program with, we could be looking at each other from across the parking lot and just give a little, and then you see those teeth flash back, and we both have that, get sucked right back into that warm feeling. And like I said before, when you throw a pebble into a pond, it makes a wave, and those waves grow, and there is no telling what the outcome of all of that positive energy is going to be, but I am certain that it's going to be good.
My name is Katie Linder. I am a graphic designer and proud board member of Dogsmile Adventures. We are here at my office in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and this is where the magic happens behind the scenes. I help out with a lot of marketing and advertising outreach for the nonprofit. I've worked with many nonprofits in the past. I've actually been involved in founding a nonprofit, and so it was super exciting for me to just witness the overwhelming response that we received when we shared Dogsmile with the world. And I think it's a testament to the underlying why of the program. It's like people connected with it, they got it. If anyone's ever been on a boat or been in the outdoors, they get it. They get why this needs to happen and why this needs to happen more than ever now. I choose to work with nonprofits, especially Dogsmile. I think doing something that fills your cup in a way where you're also able to use your talent and see a direct impact you're making in your community is a super powerful thing. There are very few activities that match the feeling of being on a sailboat. It is full immersion in nature at its finest. There are elements all around you. You are submerged in the healing powers of water. You are experiencing wind moving a craft as it has for thousands of years, and people have experienced that. And it helps you fully unplug and be extremely present. And I think that is an incredibly powerful tool for healing. We were able to get my sister-in-law, Emily, on the boat this last summer on her birthday. She has been battling MS for the better part of a decade, and it's a roller coaster. She is in chronic pain. She puts on a tough face and for all of us, but I know she struggles every day. I do. And she is the strongest person I know. I'm sorry. So I brought up this idea to her and said, have you ever been sailing? And she said, no, I've never stepped foot on a sailboat. And I said, what do you think about going sailing for your birthday? And she just lit up at the idea. So I knew that this was gonna be the deal. So we took her out sailing along with her parents who had also never been on a sailboat. And it was an incredibly impactful experience for everybody. Watching John, who is so incredible and energizing and positive and is leading them through the experience without them even realizing it, is just incredible to watch. She could not stop smiling the entire day. Just the joy radiating out of her was palpable. She was having the best time of her life, really, to put it clearly. And once she got more comfortable on the boat, she's walking around. She came up, she laid back, watched the sails. She just wanted to sit and breathe and take it all in. And I think she was in a place where she was really open to experiencing the healing that was gonna happen for her, and it did. You could see it. And by the end, the whole time we were like, Ems, do you want to drive? You want to try, get behind the wheel? And she was like, I'm not sure. And at the end I go, here's your last chance. And she's like, I'm doing it. And she got behind that wheel, and we've shared a picture through social media of her, and you can just tell that was the cherry on top. She drove that boat, and she has talked about it so many times with us since. She has shared how it sort of melted everything away and allowed her to just be. And what a gift. We do this work behind the scenes, and we hope we're able to provide some respite for people who are struggling with physical or mental ailments. And to watch it unfold in person was indescribable. So she had her best day ever. She talks about it, and she said, hey, can we do this every year? Sure enough, yeah, we absolutely will. I think the potential for Dogsmile is honestly limitless. I can see us 5, 10, 20 years down the road, and this has become a nationally recognized program where people fly in to have this sailing experience. I think, John says it best. It's like, the boat's there for anybody that wants to feel better. And how many of us can always say that on any given day? For communities that are under-resourced or at need, I think there is an opportunity to try a different type of therapy. There are studies shown now, which anyone who has appreciated the great outdoors in any capacity knows, how it makes you feel once you're out in nature. Sailing is a huge part of that, and what a way to immerse yourself in nature on the water. And I think the full benefits of that we don't fully understand yet, but we can see it. We can see how it's helping people already, and we just want more of that. We want more people on the boat. We want more communities learning about what we're doing, and we want to grow alongside with them and serve those needs. What I would do is ask you to help contribute to this mission in any way. Seriously, $5, $10, anything helps. When we have people purchase a boat ride, it therefore funds someone else that wouldn't have access to this type of experience. And we don't want anyone to feel like this is out of their reach. Youth that are going through something, for people dealing with chronic illness or disability, everyone can benefit from a boat ride. Anyone living through a pandemic for the last 18 months can benefit from a boat ride. So we would just ask that you contribute anything if this is a mission that speaks to you. Mental health has obviously been a conversation that is bubbled up a lot over the past couple years, and it is our #1 priority to make people feel better by going on a boat ride. And just saying that brings me joy. You know you're gonna have fun on a boat ride. So I would ask you to contribute anything you can. Anything truly helps. And this mission is important. I think what we will start to see is sort of like those ripples in the water. You know, people telling other people, people feeling better, people spreading the word, and how can that not make the world a better place?
It happened. And like, that's what I keep saying. Like, it happened. This thing that was a dream, it was an idea that manifested in a most peculiar way, you know, it became real this year. It happened. It's hard to describe the value of the generosity of people this year. A year ago, I was campaigning on an idea. I was campaigning on hope and saying, hey, help me try to do this. Help me try to create a therapeutic sailing program. And people responded in an overwhelming way. They bought in to an idea. They bought into the concept of therapeutic sailing, and there would be no program without that generosity. And so the first thing I would say is how much gratitude I feel for everyone that gave. There were people that donated $10, there were people that donated $5,000, and everywhere in between. And the reality is that it doesn't matter. Everybody that contributed is a part of this. Everyone that contributed can feel like they're helping somebody feel better, that they are supporting a program that gives people relief, that gives people what they need. I've seen people get off the boat feeling better than they got on it. And that is, to me, that's the essence of the whole deal. How we get there is really up in the air. It depends on how the day goes, and every group's a little bit different. But the measure by which I see therapeutic sailing is just that fact. Like, do they seem a little lighter walking up the dock than they did walking down? My job is really just to facilitate this thing doing the work. And when I say this thing, it's the boat as the vehicle and this environment. You know, this beautiful place here on Lake Pend Oreille in Bayview, Idaho, that we get out there, the sails are up. When that engine shuts off, you can almost feel like this. People like look around for a second like, whoa. And then they really like, okay, that noise goes away. And I think that's what a lot of us are seeking. And noise can mean a lot of things, right? In this case, it's just this, the diesel cuts out, sails engage, the boat heels, and you just watch the thing start to happen. And I'm just a facilitator at that point. For some groups, it's the hands-on piece. It's feeling like they're engaged in the activity, in control of what's happening. For others, it's just like pure relaxation, sunshine. They don't touch the control. Like I sail the boat. I had a couple teenagers that slept the whole time, and the group leader was like, that kid probably hasn't slept like that in months. And so there it was, and it's whatever those people get out of it. I do my best not to try and anticipate, and just get out there and let this thing do the work. I feel really helpless sometimes in the world. You know, the news and all you see is tragedy and divided nation and pandemic and all these things, right? And it can feel hopeless at times. And I I'm really proud that we've created something here that is the opposite of all of that. That you can tune into our social media channels, watch our videos, and be like, wow, I'm a part of something good in the world. And that's what it really comes down to. And that's $1 away. It really is. It doesn't matter. The amount is irrelevant, to the feeling. You're a part of it. The moment that you donate, you're a part of something good. It feels good to do good. And I've never connected with that as much as I do now. I hear people talk about this a lot. I've read about it. The search for meaning and purpose in your life and what's it all about. And I don't think I've ever really connected with it until now, or at least not as deeply as I do now. I believe that purpose is the intersection of talent and need. What really makes me tick and what I'm good at is taking people on boat rides. It's like nothing makes me feel better than doing that. And so there's the talent piece. And then the journey became, how do I connect that with a need? And it took a long time. I've been taking people on boat rides for 20 years. But it's only this year that I connected it to a need. And I realized there's all these people out there that need what I love to do. And it's that connection that is the most powerful thing I've ever felt in my heart. It's incredible. I wish Mom was here to see this. But she isn't. No, Mom taught me the value of giving and how happiness, you can't buy it. There's no amount of the only reason to make money for her was to give it away. It really was. If she could only work a little more, it wasn't to buy a new car or to live in a better house. It was so that she could give more to people that needed it. It's the only reason that she would ever, was driven to earn more money, was so that she could give more. And it affected me really deeply as a little boy, and as I grew older, and now that she's gone, and here I am running this charity. I know she's out there with me every day. I feel it, certain days more than others, and it means a lot. This year there was a lot of uncertainty, but all I rested on was these people are counting on you to go make someone else feel better today. So you better go do it. Go do whatever needs to get done today so that these boat rides keep happening. It's wild to experience, but I'll tell you, it's the most fulfilling thing I've ever been a part of. Nothing's ever made me feel this good about what I'm doing with my time. I just want to do it again. Last year I just wanted to do it at all, and this year I just want to do it again. I think there's a lot of potential. This year was all about making new connections, reaching out to various organizations here locally that support whichever population they support, and saying, hey, do you think that your group would benefit from what I'm offering? And a lot of experimentation and people coming out. Almost no one that came out had ever been on a sailboat. And so I look forward to doing that again and introducing more people to it. But also there's an excitement about people returning. And now they're walking down the dock anticipating feeling better. That doesn't happen the first time. There's a lot of nerves and I'm not sure. But next year, I'll have the opportunity to take somebody on a boat ride again. So I'm really anticipating that piece for next year. And developing the collaborations with the programs that I found this year, and finding new programs and new people, and just spending as many days out on the water doing this as I can. That's really what next season's going to be about. It's been so incredible. It's been such a dream come true, and it's all made possible by people that donate their time and money to the program. And it feels good. It feels good to take those donations and turn them into to something good, and I can't wait to do that again. I really am excited about another season of this. And I'm so much more confident than I was last year. I got to capacity at one point and was like, I can't take any more people sailing this week, which I just didn't, in my wildest dreams, imagine that it was gonna be that well received. And so next year, there's more boats, there's more days out, there's more opportunities, there's more people involved, and we just get to do this with that many more people, and we get to do it with your help. I just want to thank everyone that's contributed to the program before and that is contributing now and that will contribute in the future. It's the key part of it for me. It expands this community across the globe. It gives me a bit of connection with all of you to know that when those funds come in and I turn them into boat rides, that we're all in it together. So thanks for being a part of it. Wow, we're back live again. Thanks for staying with us. This has been really amazing, and I'm a little overwhelmed right now. I'm trying to hold it together. I'm seeing almost $14,000 in cash donations, and the live auction is still rolling. So, guys, with that, we are smashing our goal right now, and I've just this is amazing. Thank you so much. Regarding the live auction, you have a few more minutes. You have until 8 o'clock sharp to bid. So it's not too late. Get in there. I'm watching the bids happen here at Worldwide headquarters in Coeur d'Alene, and it's been pretty exciting. And thank you to everybody that's been bidding. This is really amazing to watch. And when I look at that live auction, all I can think about is how awesome next summer is going to be for me. I'm going to do all three of those events, hopefully, with you guys, whoever wins. And so I'm just thinking about how great that's going to be to join all of you supporters out there on the water. And that's what this is really about, is being out on the water. And you've heard everybody talk about it, but I just have to say again, like, it's just been a real, the best season of my life to do this and make this thing happen. And it's the fact that I'm not doing it alone that really matters the most to me, that so many people have chosen to send money and so many people have plans for next season. So I want to talk a little bit about 2022. We've got some really cool stuff coming together. We're expanding our funding options into grants and sponsorships. Now that Dogsmile Adventures is an official 501c3 nonprofit designated by the IRS, we are an official charity. And so if you made a donation tonight and you need a receipt and you're going to write that off on your taxes, send me an email. We'll make sure you get that. But it's also put us in the grant game, which is pretty exciting. I wrote my first grant in my life to the United Way, North Idaho, a few weeks ago. And well, I now understand why people hire professional grant writers. It was really hard. I had some grad school flashbacks at one point, but I pulled through. And luckily, with the support of my main man, Captain Kilmer, our published author and professional editor and magazine extraordinaire, helped me out. And we are in the final group. We haven't heard yet, but we're in the final group for the United Way grant, which is exciting. I'm also pursuing some sponsorship opportunities for folks out there. And if any of you are involved in a business that potentially would want to sponsor Dogsmile and get your logo on our new race jerseys that are going to be coming out next season, and touch other opportunities to get your brand out there in association with our program, please reach out to me and let me know. Other things that are happening in 2022, we're going to expand the veteran racing program. So we're working with Sandpoint Sailing Association and the Lake Pend Oreille Yacht Club. And so we're going to be sailing 4 days a week next summer. So this past summer, we were out there twice a week with the young adults and the veterans. We're going to double that next season, which is super exciting. Really exciting for me because I get to do more boat racing, which if any of you know me know it's like one of my favorite things to do. But also it's just we're going to increase our impact more than double because we're going to have more crews out there and more people racing. I'm also going to explore some new partnerships. We've got some other programs such as the one and sail with us, and I'm so excited to get some new groups together. And also the groups that we already have, we're going to increase the regularity and the frequency of those programs. And I can't wait to see all these people again and all the new people. I think we've just scratched the surface in this area. As many of you are aware, one of the ways that we fund Dogsmile is by offering private sailing to the public as a way of generating revenue. So basically what I've done is if you purchase a private sail or a private lesson, I'm going to charge you roughly double the value and market very specifically that you're not just buying one boat ride, you're buying two. So you're paying for your experience and you're sponsoring an experience for someone else. And that marketing strategy has been incredibly well received. And I'm really excited to expand that program. It fills in all the gaps and keeps our boats running and gets just more people involved with the program. And you just never know who's going to walk down the dock. Somebody told me that when I first got into this business. They said, John, you just never know who's going to go with you. And I can tell you, I just eagerly anticipate who's going to walk down the dock in 2022. We're working in conjunction with the Coeur d'Alene Resort and other local hotels and Airbnbs and things like that to get some more people out sailing who are going to pay for it and help me continue to give it away. At this point, I want to say thank you to a few people. I started making a list and realized how overwhelming that was. There has been so many people that have helped me out along the way. My board members, Kate, Linder, and Dave Kilmer have been with me a long time. These guys are old friends of mine. And I remember when I first started looking on YouTube, I took a class that was all about how to run a nonprofit. And there was a video that said what not to do. And one of the not do, I broke that rule right away because I knew I needed people I could trust. I had so much fear in my heart to start this thing. I was terrified. And these two have talked me off the ledge so many times this year. I was ready to quit more than once and they wouldn't let me do it. And they've helped me to believe in this mission and to continue to make it happen. I've also got to give a massive shout out to the boys at Action Sports Media. They are working tirelessly behind the scenes, literally as we speak. Paul and Taylor have been bros of mine for like 10 years now. I remember when we met and our first outing on the Locksaw River here in Idaho, which was epic. And then, I don't know, 4 or 5 trips in the Caribbean, something like that, with LTD sailing and all those missions. And as soon as I got back here, I knew that I needed to launch a grassroots fundraiser to try to get Dogsmile off the ground. And these guys were the first call I made. It was like, boys, I need a video. I need to make this happen. And they jumped in and they've been at my back ever since. They've been just amazing. Yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate it. It's been great. At this point, I want to give everybody an opportunity. If you guys have any questions, you can drop them in the I'd be happy to answer them here. We've got a few minutes to make those last few donations, and we've also got time to keep the bidding. Wow, I'm watching the bidding happen right now. It's pretty exciting on the screen, and watching donations come in at the same time. This is a little bit overwhelming. It's amazing to see what's going on right now. We've got live auction bids and donations rolling in right now. Thank you guys so much. This is incredible what's going on here. So if anybody has any questions for me, throw it in the chat. But I wanted to take a minute. How much time do we have left, guys? We got about 5 minutes left. Okay.
I've got to tell a story because we've got some good friends of mine tuned in from Grenada right now. And I've got to give a shout out to a very special friend of mine by the name of Jenny Helpap. A lot of you guys maybe don't know how Dogsmile happened, but I'll give you the short version. Jenny and I were sailing the Dogsmile from Grenada, and our destination was the Virgin Islands. And we left Grenada on the 15th of March in 2020, and on the 17th of March, the whole world changed. And when we got to Martinique, the French island, we learned that there was, in fact, a pandemic happening, and we didn't know what to do. So we decided to make our way to U.S. waters. It seemed like the good idea was to get where the Navy was. And so we headed to St. Thomas. We got there a couple days before everything got crazy. 1,000 boats showed up in the Virgin Islands. We thought we'd be there a couple days, let this thing blow over, and we ended up being in the Virgin Islands for a month and a half. It was quite a while. And Jenny and I were marooned on the boat, and the Dogsmile is a great boat, but it's not set up for living aboard. There's no refrigeration. There's no shade. There's no door on the bathroom. Jenny and I are, luckily, she's like my little sister, and we're like really good friends, and we're super close now. But when we got delayed, I had the boat scheduled to go into a charter in Seattle. And I called the guys in Seattle and said, hey, we're going to be late. And they told me, John, you need to make other plans, and hung up the phone. And I'll never forget that phone call. I was a mess. And I looked at, and Jenny was sitting on the back of the boat, and I looked at her, and she said to me, John, what would you do if you could do anything you wanted? And I think any other day I would have just walked up and kicked her off the back of the boat into the ocean. But for whatever reason that day, I entertained it. I let it in. And I looked at her and I said, I'd give it away. This thing that we get to do, this amazing thing that we get to take people on sailboat rides for a living. But there's so many people that don't get to go. I want to change that. I want to take people sailing that wouldn't be sailing without me. And at that point, we pulled out a yellow pad of paper and we drew up Dogsmile Adventures. It started right there on the back of the boat. So thanks, Jenny. Thanks for being there for me. We have 3 minutes left. Okay, there's a question. I can't see the questions. Can you? Top speed on Idaho water, Charles Linder. Top speed under sail on the Dogsmile in Idaho has been, I want to say 11.5, 12 knots of boat speed. Pretty good. Top speed I've seen on the Dogsmile. 2 different times I've seen 17.6, surfing down waves in Grenada during Grenada Sailing Week. And the other time was with Jenny sailing over the Saba Bank in the biggest waves I've ever seen. We've seen 17.5 before. Another question? Youngest sailor ever. I have no idea. I'll be totally honest.
On Dogsmile,
yeah.
Pierce?
Probably, I don't know, guys. I'm going to have to get back to you. There's been so many kids. I'm not sure. Sorry. Oldest sailor? I don't know that either. We got 1 minute left in the auction, guys. 1 minute, one more vote. Come to Bayview, stay in the float house and go sailing with me. It's going to be great. The Sizzler experience, I've had the pleasure of being out on the Sizzler. It is a work of art. It's not just a boat. It's an incredible experience. And the San Juan sailing experience, it's where it all began for me. It was my first job ever working professionally on a boat. It was amazing. Please come and do that. So last chance to vote, or last chance to bid. Here we go. We got just a few seconds left now. It's counting down on our screens here. Can anybody sport a race jersey, Kevin? You bet, buddy. This spring, we are going to be coming out with the latest version of the Dogsmile race jersey as a fundraiser to support our racing program. We've got some sponsorship logos and some cool stuff. But yes, shirts are coming this spring. Can't wait. Any other questions on there? Okay, that's it. The auction has happened. Boom. Holy cow. Whew. Wow. Wow. I'm just seeing the thermometer go blasting out the top, and the mercury is all over the floor in here. This is incredible. Okay, I'm going to announce the winners. So let's see here. We've got Bayview Floathouse winner is Eric Pelly. Yes, the Pellys are coming from Bend. All right. The Pellys. Thank you, guys. Pelly Bayview. The Sunset Dinner Cruise on the Sizzler is going to Karen Dubke, I believe. How you say that? Thank you so much, Karen. Karen Dubke is coming.
John?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask your party here for a sec.
Dave, I'm just announcing the auction. What are you doing?
That's why I'm
We're
here.
nearly
mate.
done it.
That's why I'm here, mate.
Oh, wait, what?
I want to tell you, we had 2 breaking bids on the Sizzler. And if it got up to that level, Greg and Terry Gervais said that they would contribute at 10 grand for another Sizzler ride. And we also have the Gees. We have Ryan and Jen Gee that are also in at that level. So that's 20 grand more on Sizzler ride, buddy.
In addition to Karen?
Yes.
Well, we know Captain Kilmer will be busy in 2022. Oh my God. I didn't even know about that. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Dave. And thank you to everyone that bid. I don't know what to say right now. Thank you. Wow. Sizzler's going for it. We've got it happening. And last but most certainly not least, we have got the Zobots are coming to the San Juan Islands. This is just amazing. Mike and Hattie Zobot and I go back all the way to the University of Idaho, cutting our teeth in the great outdoors, learning to roll kayaks and telemark ski. And gosh, they're just some of my favorite people. And I can't wait to spend a whole week with you guys out on Vita Beata, this beautiful island packet that we're going to sail around the San Juans. Thank you so much, everybody. Wow, this is amazing. This is it's a dream come true. There's just so much potential here, and so many lives we can change, and so many people we can impact. I'm just in awe of people's generosity. Thank you so much. And I'm going to leave you guys with a quote from one of my favorite sailors. It's a fellow named Charlie Enright. And Charlie Enright is the team captain of 11th Hour Racing. If you haven't heard of 11th Hour Racing, look them up. They're an incredible offshore racing program that's dedicated to the health of our world's oceans. And 11th Hour just launched a new Imaka 60. It's a really hot racing sailboat, and they did their first race just recently in a double-handed format across the Atlantic Ocean. And what double-handed means is there's only 2 people on the boat. So these guys sailed all the way from Europe to the Caribbean with 2 people, Charlie being one of them and one of his good mates. I forget the guy's name. And they had all kinds of trouble. They were really excited about the race, and they were anticipating being in the front of this fleet, and they weren't. They were in the back. They were battling it out, and they had a really hard crossing, but they made it. And exhausted on the dock, at the end of this race, Charlie stood up and he said, "Now that we've finished, we feel like we'd be ready to start." And that's what first chapters are all about. And that's how I feel right now. Thank you so much, everybody.
Woo!
Yeah.